When it arrives, the Galaxy S23 will have some big shoes to fill, but we are confident that Samsung can pull it off with its new flagship phones. Among this year's releases, the Galaxy S22 and Galaxy S22 Plus felt a lot more iterative than innovative, but the Galaxy S22 Ultra had no such problem, bringing the Galaxy Note back to life. Rumors about the Samsung Galaxy S23 are just starting to pick up, but we wanted to share what's out there. So here's what we have heard about the Galaxy S23 so far. The Samsung Galaxy S23 has been tipped to ditch Samsung's Exynos chip in favor of Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. A leak says that the S23 and S23 Plus will both get an upgraded 12-megapixel front camera for better selfies. This would fit with Samsung looking for alternative chipsets, even those from MediaTek rather than current partner Qualcomm. Obviously, none of these are 100% confirmation, but Samsung might still be interested in improving its Exynos brand. We'd welcome this, considering that the Exynos 2200 failed to meet our expectations, lagging behind the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 in our Galaxy S22 Plus benchmark tests. The only other thing we have heard is that Samsung might refer to the Galaxy S23 internally as Project Diamond. Previously, some thought this code name instead referred to a third foldable, but that's apparently not the case according to DSCC analysis Ross Young. There's a long time for Samsung to finalize some Galaxy S23 details, so here's what we are hoping to see. A post from famed Samsung leaker Ice Universe on Twitter claims that the Galaxy S23 Ultra will have a whopping 200 megapixel main camera, a holdover rumor from the earlier days of S22 speculation. This camera will supposedly be optimized for several years. We are not sure if that means Samsung plans to continually improve the camera over the years with software updates, or if the Korean phone maker will improve the 200 megapixel sensor following the S23 Ultra's launch. The Galaxy S22 launched in February, so we'd expect a similar timeline for the Galaxy S23. The Galaxy S21 series came out in January 2021, but Samsung had to make room for the Galaxy S21 FE, so it likely pushed back the S22's debut. For the Galaxy S23, that probably means an early 2023 appearance. Phone release windows are pretty predictable nowadays, and we don't expect Samsung to deviate from this, though the coronavirus pandemic and chip shortages have created some delayed phone launches in recent memory. This camera rumor has gained additional believability since a new report says Samsung's working on a second-gen 200 megapixel sensor, and we will use it in the S23 if all goes to plan. However, another leak says it may not be second-generation ISOCELL HP3 sensor Samsung goes for after all, but the older ISOCELL HP1. If you are curious as to what this sensor is capable of, Samsung has shown off a video of the 200 megapixel HP1 camera sensor in action by snapping a photo of a cat and then blowing up that images to fit a 20x into 22 meter canvas that was hung off the side of a building. It is hard to tell for sure in a YouTube video and not in person, but the images looked impressive. Details appear to be very crisp with individual cat hairs picked out. This is something even cameras on some of the best phones can struggle with due to their lower megapixel counts. Samsung's video definitely suggests that a 200 megapixel main camera could be the key to unlocking more out of its Galaxy phone photography. There's a long time for Samsung to finalize some Galaxy S23 details, so here's what we are hoping to see. Better battery life. The battery life on all three Galaxy S22 models is in a word disappointing. Even the Galaxy S22 Ultra with its 5000 mAh power pack couldn't last as long as phones like the OnePlus 10 Pro or iPhone 13 Pro Max. The mid-range Galaxy A53 doesn't have stellar battery life either. Samsung needs to up its game with battery life, shrinking the power packs from the Galaxy S21 to the Galaxy S22, and Galaxy S22 was not a wise decision and obviously hurt both phones in testing. Continuous zoom. One problem with telephoto lenses on smartphones is that you either use the full optical zoom or get stuck with digital that fills in the gaps. Rumors surrounding the Galaxy S22 Ultra suggested that Samsung was going to introduce continuous zoom where the phone could go from 1 to 10 and all the spots between smoothly. We want to see Samsung and introduce this on all three Galaxy S23 models, though we have a feeling the feature might an ultra exclusive if it ever materializes.